Are headed into a very turbulent time here. The yield curve is rapidly uninverting, and the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq dropped almost 10%, which in the traditional equity market is a very substantial amount to drop. You can see right here, Nasdaq over the last 70 days or so, 2.5 months, dropped 9.2%. That is dramatic. That's not something that generally happens in the stock market. I know in crypto markets we're used to it, but the stock market is not used to turbulence like that. It's possible that we already peaked for the year. The remaining part of the year could just be sideways or even downward movement. What's good? Good morning, AVAC. Happy to see you here. I want to talk about the yield curve. A lot of people talked about the yield curve, especially when it first inverted, but that's a lot of not very accurate information. The scary part about the yield curve is not when it inverts, it's when it uninverts. The inversion is signaling that a recession is to come, usually between 18 months, like 12 to 24 months, 18 months or so after the yield curve inverts. But the recession is here when the yield curve is rapidly uninverting. And we'll get into some of the rationale behind that, but effectively what it's saying is that there is a massive credit risk right now. There's a huge risk to credits in the markets. And it's insane how quickly this yield curve is uninverting. So if we go back to July, you'll see that there was a 1% inversion on the yield curves. Now it's 0.3%, 0.29 as of today. The yield curve I pay most attention to is the 10-year, 2-year spread. That's the one that signals to the broader markets what's going on. If you are unfamiliar with how bonds traditionally work, the yield on a bond goes up as the bond price goes down. Price goes down when people sell something. All right, that makes a lot of sense, right? You guys are familiar with markets. So as the price goes down, the yield goes up, right? There is some talk here to be said that the yield curve is being artificially inverted because the Fed has been raising rates so much. And I understand that rationale, but I don't think that it's a valid rationale to be saying that the yield curve is no longer valid because of this. Because yeah, they're raising interest rates 100%, but it signals the fear that is in the market from investors. And this uninversion is showcasing that people are becoming very, very fearful. If we look when the last time we had a massive spike, right? If you go back to March of this year, we went from a 1% inversion all the way up to a 0.4% inversion. So we rapidly uninverted back then in March. What was happening? You guys remember what was happening? Silicon Valley Bank. The entire tech industry was going under fire. Silicon Valley Bank, one of the largest investors of all of Silicon Valley, all of the tech in the United States, went belly up. They went bankrupt. They had to get bailed out. And so that was a credit crunch. That was credit fear. And the markets responded appropriately with an uninversion leading into a recession. Recession fears, right? The same thing's happening again at pretty much the same speed. So what is this actually telling us though? What should we need to be paying attention to? We need to be watching what the Fed does, because there's two scenarios that could be playing out here. And the guy outside my apartment right now, or my condo, is literally standing at the window, standing at the door with the leaf blower. So we'll give him a second. I know it's probably kind of loud. It's loud for me and I can't concentrate. We need to be paying attention to the economic data, okay? Because the Fed here, the people in charge of interest rates, the people in charge of effectively determining where these bond yields are going to reside at, are set on raising rates. Jerome Powell is set on keeping rates as high as possible. That keeps the short end of the yield curve, this end over here, that keeps this very elevated, right? And then the broader market is elevating the longer yield end because they're trying to just get some safety. They're trying to flee to safety. Okay, he's coming. He's making a double back. He's trying to come back around. Stupid fuck. We need to pay attention to the economic data that's coming out. And what's good, guys? Happy to see you all here. I'm live on YouTube right now. If you want to come swing through, we're live trading and you can follow along on the charts. We need to be paying attention to the JOLTS data that just came out, the job report that came in hot, that came in strong. We need to pay attention to the CPI release on October 12th. If that comes in hot, if that comes in strong, it's not good. It's counterintuitive, It's very counterintuitive right now, but we want to see some soft economic data so that the Fed can lower interest rates and stop freaking the market out. JP Morgan is also releasing their earnings on October 13th, and we need to pay attention to that. JP Morgan's one of the massive banks in the industry. We have to pay attention to that. It's very, very confusing because normally you'd think we want strong economic data to show a strong economy, but the problem is the Fed is going to continue to raise interest rates so long as the economy stays strong. So we want to see the economy weaken a little bit, not a lot. That way, they notice that there is a credit crunch coming, and they can chill out. If we go look at stuff, I want to point out, if we go to TLT, which is the 20-year treasury, okay? It's not supposed to move like this. This is a very, very rapid decline. Again, if you go back, it's a very, very rapid decline, 20% this year. In the last 6 months, it has fallen 20%. That doesn't normally happen to treasuries. They're not supposed to move like that. The price is falling, which means the yield is going up. The price is falling, which means people are running away from bonds right now. People are that's counterintuitive. You go to a bond for safety, but right now they don't think anything is safe because of the credit crunch that's happening. It's definitely not great for the markets. And that's why I'm saying that we could see some pretty large sell-offs here in the near future, in the next few months. I think the S&P 500, the NASDAQ have probably topped out. What's good, Ash? Welcome here. Welcome to the YouTube live stream. Happy to see you here. What's good, Truth? Happy to see you here as well. AVAC, what's going on? You just woke up at 7 a.m. Well, you're in for a good one here. You're in for a good one here. I want to play around with the dynamic yield curve for a moment, and then we'll get into some of the live trading. If you guys want to come see this dynamic yield curve, it's really, really fascinating when you look at it, okay? If we go back to the 2008 financial crisis, you'll see this is what a normal yield curve is supposed to look like. The shorter end, the 3-month, is supposed to yield less in returns than the 20-year bond, right? That makes a lot of sense because you're locking up your money for a less period of time. You should be able to get less in return, especially knowing that 3 months from now, the economy should be in a good spot. It's easy to predict 3 months out. It's not easy to predict 30 years out. Who knows what's going to happen in 30 years, okay? So that's why you get more of a yield for locking up your money for a longer period of time. Before economic crises, that is not the case because who knows what's going to be like in 6 months. Right now, we're in the middle of an economic crisis, okay? And we don't know what it's going to look like in 6 months. The market could be down 50% in 6 months. It really could. If we have a bad credit crunch and a lot of the major banks start failing, the market could tumble. And that's why the yield curve is inverted right now, because it's safer to lock up your money for 10 years, because in 10 years, we'll probably be through this. But in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year, there's no telling what's going to happen. What's good, Satoshi? Thank you for that. Appreciate the rose. So this is what a normal yield curve will look like. Leading into times of misfortune, like the 2008 financial crisis, you'll see that the short end of this yield curve goes higher than the long end. So shorter duration bonds are going to yield more. That's because everyone is running away from the short yielding bonds because they don't know what's going to happen in the short term. As soon as that yield curve begins to revert back to normal is when the economic crisis hits, because there's a credit crunch and people are fearful and they start running back to those short-term bonds, right? Because they see things are starting to collapse, and we know that the actual economy is going to collapse far before anything actually signaling in the economic data that it's collapsing, right? So in real time, the bankers will run to the short yielding bonds because they know that it's happening and now's the time to act. So the yield curve will uninvert, and following that uninversion is exactly when we see the crash coming. So we have the inversion here back in the dot-com bubble, and then you see it uninvert, and we're already kind of into the crash, but it had just begun. 2008, same thing happened. We had the inversion, and as soon as it uninverted, the crash happened. Right now, okay, we have the inversion, and if you look, it got really, really steep just recently, and when you look at the more tightly correlated data, it is rapidly uninverting, which tells me, again, we're headed for a credit crunch or rate cuts. One of the two. Those are the takeaway here is you're either going to see rate cuts in the next 6 to 12 months, or you're going to see a massive credit default happen throughout the banking system in the next 6 to 12 months. That's what the yield curve is telling us right now. That's why it's important you need to be able to read these charts. Now, let's get some trading going. Like, cool, that's awesome. What can we do about it? I want to make some money, right? You can hedge if you want to hedge. You probably should have already opened some hedges to your accounts. On the day-to-day though, let's get into the trading sessions. I'm going to end the TikTok live. Let me know. I want your feedback though real quick before I end it. Let me know if you guys enjoyed being a part of that morning recap. I guess it's the morning rant that I go on. I do it on YouTube. I've been doing it for a couple months now. And then we get right into live trading as the market opens. We trade cryptocurrencies. I got a clean setup. Don't people also love bonds because they think the stock market will offer better, safer yields? Yeah, right now, the federal funds rate, if we go look at the Fed fund, I didn't even pull it up right here, but you go look and the bonds right now, the Fed futures, we're at a 5.5 actual yield, okay? If you go, I don't have any, oh yeah, here it is. You can go lock up your money for 2 years in a bond and yield 5%. That is a risk-free rate of return of 5%. That's super, super good. Usually the stock market averages 8 to 10%. So if you can risk-free get 5%, people want to eat that up. The problem is, yields are still going up. And since yields are inversely correlated to the price, and price, that tells us that price is going down, right? You can look at the TLT that we pulled up. The price of bonds is going down. So you would think people are running to bonds to go grab that free returns, that 5%, lock that in, but it's not happening. People are still selling off bonds because they're afraid of a credit crunch. Everyone is terrified that we're about to go into an economic crisis and the credit crunch is happening. So the charts tell you a lot if you can understand how to read them. That's what I said when my mom caught me just playing with the dynamic yield curve. Sometimes it be like that, dude. Sometimes it really does be like that. Wish I wouldn't have missed it. Grobby, we're live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. I'm on YouTube. I'm going to continue doing some live trading on YouTube. Short alts. Yeah, if we go into a credit crunch, dude, short the hell out of everything in the altcoin market. Honestly, it's probably time to take some longs on the bond market, but we'll get there eventually. Your time's your most valuable asset. Hopefully TikTok there enjoyed it. We're going to go on YouTube right now. Come over and join us at @_investor PS Crypto. I'll see you guys probably a little bit later. All right. Trying to funnel people over from TikTok because that's where I got the 60,000 people over there who enjoy some of my content. Now let's make them enjoy some of the trading content on YouTube. So hopefully my thoughts were able to be relayed to you guys condusively there. Let's get into some market movements, okay? Understanding that we're on a very important time, like we're at a very important time in the markets right now. We're either going to have a pretty substantial crash or we're going to have some rate cuts. So it's important to pay attention to the Fed futures. You really do want to see the tools like this. Right now, the market is convinced we're not going to have any more rate cuts or rate hikes, right? Very much convinced that we're at the peak, but how long is it going to last? This is November 2024. The market thinks by then we'll have had half a percent rate cut. Who knows? Jerome Powell has said many, many times that we're not going to have any rate cuts for a long time. He wants to hold these as high as they can, which is why it's important to pay attention to the economic data. We want to see how strong or soft it is. The softer, the better, but not too soft because then it's scary. Bitcoin just jumped. What's good, Dream? If you have time, when do you think the used car market will become more affordable? Truth? It's a good question. The used car market's been on the most insane face-ripping rally I've ever seen. I sold my car to Carvana, and they paid me $9 grand to get out of my lease. Not only did they pay off my entire lease, but then they paid me $9,000 for the privilege to pay off my lease just to get my used Toyota Camry. That's not supposed to happen. You're supposed to lose money on a lease, not profit. So the market's chilling. The market's popping off right now. Bitcoin's moving up. So I was a little bit nervous this morning to see where Bitcoin was going to go because I think this was a red candle when I first checked it. So now that we're green, tells me that we just had a pretty decent move. I do think we're going to continue up. I think that we'll probably come up to this $30,000 area and just check it out. Just toy with it a little bit. If we want to look at signals for Bitcoin, this tells you open interest. This kind of tells you where market movers are going to take the market, right? So these are NPOCs. These act as magnets. They're effectively just open orders that never got filled. So the market likes to go grab that liquidity before moving on. So back here at 28,600 is probably where we're headed. We're probably going to go straight there in the next day or two. And then there's a large one up here at 29,400 and a pretty decent sized one here at 30,000. So I think there's a good chance we rally onwards. If we go into a more daily, if we go to the daily time frame, yep, you see how quickly that just rallied up. We're going to look for our setup and hopefully we can grab something. I'm glad I was ranting because I would have shorted Ethereum. You see that? That's the perfect setup. We would have already been stopped out. So I'm glad I was ranting for that entire morning right there. Bitcoin's pumping, and I think since we're bullish on Bitcoin, we want to look for a trade in which it makes sense to go long. Arbitrum short looks pretty healthy. BNB short looks pretty healthy. And Aave Quant, I don't really see anything that I enjoy the setup of, so we might honestly not take a trade, which is unfortunate because I just drove a bunch of people from YouTube over here. We've only taken 2 trades this week. The last one didn't do too well, so I don't want to force anything today. The last one was on Bitcoin, and that was kind of, we went long on Bitcoin, and we got stopped out. And I know it's probably funny as hell because how are you going to get stopped out on that? On something that looks like this. We saw the pattern here, right? Scoop, entry, take profit. Scoop, we entered right here with the take profit set up for right here. But before we came up here, we went down to the stop loss, which was set at the lows back here, right? I know we just drew a bunch on the screen there. But our trade yesterday, we got screwed. We entered right here with the goal of selling at a 1% gain up here at this line, which we did in fact hit, but not before getting stopped out at the lows from yesterday, or from earlier. So the market just like didn't want us to be profitable with that trade. It is what it is, right? Can't win them all. It's ready to short Bitcoin too, right? That, like, it looked like it was going to be a decent short, but then we came above the VWAP and moved high and had this massive spike. I'm curious if there's any crypto panic news that just came out. Can that dude go away? Can you guys hear him with the leaf blower? Usually make videos on Sunday. My weekly video might not be posted until then. Also, great video yesterday. Thank you, Dream. I appreciate that. The video I posted yesterday was a little bit peculiar. It's not... it was talking about decentralized science, right? But it was like, I went on a rant for like the first 10 minutes that had nothing to do with DeSci. And then I started talking about decentralized science. So I feel like I bait and switched you guys a little bit low key. Looking for a better crypto exchange? Sign up to BingX to earn $50. This is on Crypto Panic right now, okay? This is the exchange that I use. This event has ended. The $50 register bonus. If you use the referral link in the description of the video right now, you won't get $50. You'll get $5,000, up to $5,000. So I'm just saying, if you guys want to use an exchange that has a lot of really, oh look, they took it away. It's got a lot of cool trading pairs. I use it. I've had a good time using it. You get up to $5,000 for like your qualified deposits and activities and stuff. You should go check it out. You got a better deal than Crypto Panic going with it. You also don't need to KYC if you're in the United States. I know that's a big, people get little hard-ons for that. So unemployment claims earlier this morning. Yeah, if you go the JOLTS, number of unemployment persons per job opening seasonally adjusted. You can kind of see that we're starting to curl back up a little bit on this, which is not spectacular. But we're at extraordinarily low unemployment rates. The thing is that these are very directional. They don't usually correct. So when we're going down, we're going down. And then all of a sudden we spike up. So when we're going down, we're going down. And then all of a sudden we start to curl up. I'm expecting kind of a spike. I thought we'd hit the soft landing. I don't think we will. I don't see any news that came from Bitcoin. Arrest warrant for a Bitcoin bribery, that was 10 minutes ago. Sui Foundation announces ecosystem fund worth over 50 million. Concerns on proposed XRPLs. Solana DeFi ecosystem rallies. Are you guys seeing? Let's open it up. You guys got questions? Are you guys seeing any good trade setups? People keep talking about stacks. I'm probably gonna add stacks to the long-term portfolio here in the coming days. Stacks is like in my eyes, Stacks is like a leveraged Bitcoin play, and we're at a pretty decent spot for accumulation right now. We got that downtrend we just tested. I think right now is actually probably a good time to add it. I'm gonna replace my Matic with Stacks today. I don't want to short anything today. That's the problem. I'm not interested in shorting anything. But things look like they might need to be shorted. Let's check out Aave, Quant, and ADA. Listen, not in my larger personal portfolio, in the trading challenge, in this portfolio. I don't think Matic deserves a spot in this portfolio anymore. I just don't. It's only got like $30 in it, right? I think I'm gonna take that $30 of Matic and put it to $30 of Stacks. I don't want anything in here that's Matic's $8 billion market cap. I think it'll do phenomenal, so I'm not gonna sell out of it for my personal portfolio, but for this portfolio, I think I need to. I'm probably going to take profits on CheckDot here as well, and then Kaspa soon. Everyone's dropping DOT. Yeah. I just don't think DOT's got the same excitement. It was really fascinating to be a layer 0 back when that was novel and brand new, but there's a lot of projects that probably doing it better than DOT. DOT's just continued to bleed. Same with Algo. I liked Algo when it first came out, when I first was introduced to it, but it just continues to bleed. Nothing wrong with something that continues to bleed, right? We trade, I have a lot of ICP, but ICP's different. ICP's different because they pay me to talk highly about it. No, I liked ICP before. Honestly, after getting the grant from ICP, from Dfinity, and starting to talk more about it and like learn more behind the scenes, it's made me a little bit more skeptical about it all. Just being completely transparent with you. And that if anyone from Dfinity is watching this, I'll probably get flagged for don't give him another grant, but it is what it is, dude. It just is what it is. Nothing is perfect. I like ICP a lot, but they got their red flags as well. 299 subs. Let's go. Yeah, Bitcoin's continuing to rally. If you guys like momentum trading, this is probably a good one to be doing. I'd be careful. Just be weary, because we're already well outside of the third band multiplier, right? So we are extremely overbought right now. And you look, there's a divergence, so it's probably a good time to take a short. This is not our trading setup, so I'm not going to take it, but I am going to call it out right now. If you're quick with your fingers, this is probably a good spot to short. You look for a short back within the band. You can get a quick 0.4% gains on Bitcoin potentially. You look at the RSI here, okay? So we became overextended. The RSI became very overbought. We went to 89. That's very overbought for the RSI. And we are probably 4 standard deviations away from the median, which is just not statistically possible to maintain. Then the RSI did not go as high as it previously was, and we came down, got rejected by the moving average on the RSI, and the price is up high. It went even higher. So without any news that came through, unless you guys are seeing news, it's probably going to get a pretty decent pullback here, back within the first band. Probably like a 10-minute trade here. I'm not taking it, but maybe it's worth risking for you guys. Everything's overextended, so maybe it is time to grab a quick little short here. Let's skim through real quick. If we're assuming Bitcoin's going to have a pullback in the next couple minutes, let's look for something that has a good short setup and then hop into it. What's this one? XRP? XRP looks pretty decent for a short, not gonna lie. Let's check out the daily, see if the candles on the daily indicate we could short today. It's a lot of congestion. It's at a price point that it's continued to get rejected at. Red candle. I think it might be the good short right here. We might be short in XRP. I might be short in XRP. You guys do whatever you want to do. Let's keep going. Let's keep looking just real quick. Bitcoin is undeniably bullish, so we got to be very careful when doing it. Quant is probably something that we could long today, but I'm gonna go with an XRP short here. And then I gotta go to the bathroom again. This thing's holding up. This thing's holding up strong. Look at that. Look at that. Did any of you guys enter that? Did any of you guys jump straight into it? Luckily, Bitcoin is small moves, so you really don't got to worry about anything crazy going on. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna look and see when this looks like it's gonna U-turn. So if we pop off here and it continues that breakout, it's gonna be very impressive. I don't understand how there's no news. You guys gotta help me find some news here, please. This is too quickly of a move. I think it's going to get rejected here, so I'm gonna... How much gains do we see potentially for XRP? If we grab the short here, not looking like a ton. We're looking at 0.6% gains, maybe 0.7 if we were to stretch it. So gotta be... Unfortunately, it's not the 1% rule. Are we just gonna stay here? Is it strong? This is Signals, if you guys have ever seen it before. Josh put me onto this. It's really, really useful. I gotta... AVAC's been saying I gotta use it more. AVAC is still here, I'm assuming. It's crazy how strong this thing is. Yeah, I'm getting in the XRP short here. I don't think Bitcoin's gonna hold there for a period of time. I'm gonna grab in. I'm gonna go in with 10x leverage. There's a good chance I'm not sure how this trade's gonna go. I don't have the highest confidence, so we're gonna go in just with traditional leverage and just let the setup play out and see how it goes. The setup's there and everything points to the idea that it's gonna work out nicely. Even XRP has that divergence on the RSI that we talk about, that we look for, where the RSI did not make a higher high, but the price did. So perpetual futures, XRP, Yes, I'm here. Let's go. TWSS. Should we pay attention to that? Bing X is constantly trying to get me to do 20x leverage. I can't be doing that. That's too much. Limit order. All right. Let's see. I'm in XRP for a short here. So we are in right there. The take profit for me is going to be down here at the previous lows. Not a ton. And then the stop loss is really going to be dependent on where Bitcoin goes. Bitcoin is still pushing. That's very impressive. What is TWSS? Oh. The hell, man? You think this is some kind of joke? You think this is some kind of joke, dude? The hell? Embarrassing me on my own live stream. How far up? It went 0.27 above. So that's probably where... Are we going straight to the stop loss? Have we just not... Chat, we've been getting I've been getting demolished. I've been getting fucking bodied. My win rate's been like 50-50 since I went on that trip. Bitcoin's going up longer than you expected. Yeah, Bitcoin is still pushing way harder than I expected. Bitcoin's got that stamina right now where it just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. It's like this dude took fucking... I don't know. It's too much. It's too much. Pull back. Get a pullback. Maybe if I go use the restroom, we'll see that pullback. But I gotta set up my take profit and stop loss just in case while I'm in the bathroom shit hits the fan. I just hit take profit, stop loss on Bing X, and it only gave me the option to set the stop loss. It's like, you don't need to worry about the take profit, dude. Don't worry about that take profit. You don't gotta worry about that. Like, you're gonna need that. Like, you're gonna need that. I think it's 6% gains because you're 10x. We're looking for 0.6. We'll do 6.6. And then the stop loss. $52.65. 52 point. No, I want it a little bit higher. It's 52.5277. God damn. It's low-key a risk one to make one trade here, so hopefully it goes smoothly. Is Bitcoin coming down finally? Bitcoin is coming. Look at how strong that was. That was insane. How much time did we just spend outside of the third standard deviation? Presuming this one goes in, we spent half an hour. That fully extended. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, baby. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Can you guys hold it down? Should we play music? Do you guys want music? Yes or no? While I'm in the restroom here. I gotta go make a trade. I drank so much coffee this morning. 4 people are watching. You guys. People are watching. Ah, shut the Let's go! 300 subscribers! That's not what I expected. I thought it was gonna be an air horn. You guys can listen to this for 30 seconds while I go to the bathroom. Stay right there. Don't you dare go anywhere. Too bad, Truth. Music is coming. My girlfriend was not a fan of that. She's got her headphones on right now. She never wears headphones. Ah! What the hell? You guys were supposed to hold it down. What the hell? There's a mess in the back. There's a huge mess in the back, AVAC. I keep saying that we're renovating the condo, but like, we haven't done any work for like 2 weeks, so are we even renovating anymore? I don't know. No, we are still renovating the condo. It's just exhausting. Where's the open order? Trigger price is at 52.77. And currently it's at 52.55 on BingX. So yes, we shall see. We shall see. It's funny because as soon as I entered the short, we popped off. Literally could not have had worse timing with the entry point there. I should put in the Discord. I'm probably gonna sign off. If you guys got questions, please. A break is good if you pick up where you left off. Yeah. The problem is I'm not picking any of it up again. If you guys have questions, feel free right now. Open season for answering some questions. We'll do a little bit of Q&A. If you guys want to talk about the yield curve and the uninversion anymore, this is something that people, the average crypto bro has no idea what's going on here. Even like people that I've talked to who sound super smart in crypto don't understand how the dynamics of this works. Right now we're headed for one of two options, either rate cuts like very quickly because of a credit crunch, or if the economic data is too hot, we will continue to have rates high and there will be a massive credit crunch, massive default of major banks. People are going to lose a lot. If that happens, people are going to lose a lot of money. They're going to close lines of credits. They're going to shut down people. Like the bank will default on your mortgage, not you defaulting on the mortgage. And there's safeguards and everything, so it won't be 2008 again. But if there's a massive credit crunch, like you could end up losing a lot of money. Now the rich will, the only benefit, quote unquote, the only benefit is that you have up to $250,000 secured in a bank, which means only people with more than that would lose money. And we know what happens if the rich lose money, then the government steps in printing a ton of money. The government will always step in that scenario. And what happens when the government steps in and prints money? Our beloved Bitcoin skyrockets without fail every time, because that's what Bitcoin was created to do, is to just absorb the free liquidity that's put out in the market from the USD. Riddle me this. Bitcoin actually doesn't move in price. It's just showing you the true devaluation of the dollar. Maybe that is what's actually going on. Your time's your most valuable asset. Here we go. Crypto Dream. I forgot I asked if you guys had questions. Remind me where you short and long. Is it the one you said earlier in the description? Right now I'm short XRP. Is that what you were asking? Right now I'm short XRP. Right at this line to get down to here. And that's my take profit up here. We are currently down we're break even exactly. Now we're up $1. Come on. Come on, baby. Ooh, now we're up at $2. What exchange? Oh, BingX. Yes, it's in the description. I highly recommend it. It's a good exchange, not just because they hooked it up for me, but they're hooking it up for you guys as well. They, like you just saw on Crypto Panic, you get $50 if you sign up with their link. If you sign up with the link that I have because someone reached out from BingX to try and like get you guys to use it because they saw that I have people following me, they offered up to $6,000 in like coupons to use to trade with. So you can trade using their money, but you have to deposit money. I recommend I deposited $1,000 and that's what got me, I think I got like $500 or $600 in free rewards, and you can still continue to get them. I just haven't claimed them. It's a good exchange. I'm a fan of it. If you're gonna trade, you might as well try it there. I'm thinking that Bitcoin, oh, the other thing I was gonna say is that if enough people sign up, they said that we can have a trading challenge for a funded account. So that'd be pretty lit. I'm thinking Bitcoin will run back to 28,150 before dropping. That's definitely possible. Are there open orders? 28,150? Oh, you're saying today, like on the short time frame? Maybe. I don't see any open orders here, but it's definitely possible. We come back up to, what is this gap? That's weird. We come back up here. We could. I hope we just have a little bit of a pullback. I definitely hope that we have a pullback. I think we'll probably, on the longer term, go up a bunch higher, but we'll see. Is it better than KuCoin? I honestly never used KuCoin, so I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. If you don't have to KYC on KuCoin and you're enjoying it, just chill there. It's way easier for your taxes if you don't switch around a bunch. If you want to switch around, you want to try and get some free money, then yeah, use the link. But if you have it all, if you have a good setup right now, don't risk a good thing just because you want to support me, I guess. Do they keep track of buys and sells for you? Yeah, they do. It's kind of like there's a lot of options on here, and it admittedly it takes a while to like figure out what all is going on there. But you can see all of your assets in the account. I don't want to share it. Oh, here, I'll blind it. There's literally just $1,000 in it, but you can see all the assets that are in the account. And then they have the trading history, futures, fund, wealth, P&Ls. I've made 1 cent today. The P&L. Yeah, you can't see it. They have a good tracking system, yes. I will say though, the spot trading didn't close out of my position 100%. There's still like that crypto dust left in there. So I kind of was expecting them to just like accumulate the crypto dust on their side and give me all my money back, but it looks like they didn't. And so I shorted Aave, and I still have a little bit of Aave that I can't sell because it's too small of an amount. We'll see how this trade ends up playing out. If Bitcoin's going to continue to rally today, then this trade's probably going to get stop lossed. I was hoping that we would have a sizable correction in XRP when Bitcoin did this pullback. Didn't really happen. Bitcoin did exactly what we thought it would do, right? I said right here, I said, you guys, if you want to open up a short on Bitcoin, grab like 0.4% back down to the furthest band. That's exactly what happened. We just had a little spike first. XRP did not break down. We're back up there. There's a possibility we get stopped out, whatever. I'll keep it updated in the Discord. Your time's your most valuable asset. Hopefully you found this worth investing into. I will see you guys a bit later. I got to go work on some YouTube videos. Peace.